The story of the 1990 Jefferson nickel begins long before the coin itself was minted, because every year of the Jefferson nickel is a continuation of a much larger history that stretches back to the late 1930s. By the time 1990 arrived, the Jefferson nickel had already been in circulation for more than 50 years and had become one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. The 1990 issue reflects a period of stability at the United States Mint, a time when designs were consistent, minting technology was improving, and coinage demand was strong across the nation. In 1990, the United States Mint continued using the classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, created by sculptor Felix Schlag. Schlag's design had first appeared on the nickel in 1938, following a national competition, and it remained unchanged for decades, except for minor adjustments in relief and a few technical refinements. Even in 1990, collectors still admired the strength of the design because it carried an instantly recognizable American identity. On the obverse, the left-facing bust of Jefferson stands as a symbol of democracy, enlightenment, leadership, and the early formation of the United States. Schlag's original concept focused on clarity, simplicity, and dignity. By 1990, die polishing and die preparation techniques were more advanced, which helped the mint create sharper details and smoother fields compared to earlier decades. The reverse of the 1990 Jefferson nickel showcases Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia home. This building had remained a core part of the coin's imagery since the coin's introduction, representing Jefferson's intellectual pursuits and the architectural innovation he embraced. Throughout the 1980s, the Mint had worked to strengthen the clarity of Monticello's columns, steps, and roof lines, so that by 1990, the reverse design often showed better definition than the coins created in the 1950s and 1960s. When overused, dies sometimes weakened details. For many collectors, the 1990 issue embodies the continued refinement of older artistry while preserving America's heritage. During 1990, the Mint produced Jefferson nickels at two facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. These mints were responsible for maintaining a steady flow of circulating coins because the American economy was growing and required billions of coins each year. The Philadelphia Mint struck coins without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint used the familiar D mint mark. Although the overall design was unchanged, collectors often notice small variations in strike quality or luster between the two mints, which makes the 1990 nickel an interesting study for numismatists who analyze die characteristics. The composition of the 1990 Jefferson nickel remained 50% copper and 25% nickel, with the balance being copper blended throughout. This alloy had been standard since 1946, following the wartime silver nickels of 1942 to 1945. The stability of the alloy helped ensure durability and a consistent metallic appearance. When 1990 nickels enter circulation, they show a bright silvery surface that gradually tones with use, developing soft grays or faint golden hues depending on environmental conditions. For collectors, the 1990 issue often holds sentimental value as it belongs to the final decade before the major design changes of the early 2000s, including the Westward Journey series and the updated Jefferson portrait introduced in 2006. Minting technology in 1990 was significantly more advanced than in earlier decades. Computer-assisted die engraving had improved die preparation and reduced inconsistencies. Quality control had also become more reliable, minimizing the appearance of large-scale varieties. However, even with these improvements, small errors and minor anomalies could still occur. Some error coins from 1990 include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and strike-throughs. These errors attract dedicated collectors because the modern minting era typically produces fewer dramatic mistakes, making the surviving examples more sought after. The 1990 Jefferson nickel played an important role in everyday American commerce. It was used in vending machines, payphones, parking meters, buses, laundromats, and retail stores. The nickel's purchasing power had changed. Since Jefferson's time, and even since the coin's introduction in 1938, but it remained a familiar and essential denomination. The presence of the 1990 nickel in daily life connected Americans to their historic past while serving a modern economy. Many people remember finding bright new 1990 nickels in their pocket change during that time, which adds a personal nostalgia to this year's issue. Collectors often examine 1990 nickels under magnification to study strike sharpness, die fatigue, and luster quality. Denver strikes are sometimes known for slightly stronger detail, while Philadelphia strikes may show softer edges depending on the die's condition. Well-preserved examples with full steps on Monticello are especially desirable. Full steps appear at the base of Monticello on the reverse, and when all the steps are completely visible and unbroken, the coin is considered a premium strike. These coins represent excellent die preparation and perfect striking pressure, which are relatively harder to find in mass circulation. The year 1990 also reflects a time before the public understood how dramatically the design of the Jefferson nickel would evolve in the coming decades. At the time, few collectors predicted that a major design change would occur in 2004 and 2005, followed by an entirely new portrait in 2006. For that reason, the 1990 Jefferson nickel holds significance as one of the last decades of the uninterrupted Schlag design that defined mid to late 20th century American coinage. It stands as a historical marker of tradition before the wave of modernization and reinterpretation began. As a collectible, the 1990 Jefferson nickel offers an accessible entry point for new numismatists because the coin remains affordable in most conditions. High-grade examples certified in mint state with brilliant luster can still hold collector appeal, particularly those with full steps. The coin is also an excellent teaching tool for studying U.S. mint processes during the late 20th century. It showcases the balance of artistic legacy and industrial production, merging Schlag's classical design with modern minting technology and national circulation needs. In the broader historical context, the 1990 Jefferson nickel symbolizes continuity in American coinage. It reflects a nation committed to preserving its history while evolving technologically. It represents the endurance of Jefferson's legacy, the reliability of American craftsmanship, and the stability of long-standing currency traditions.